Hi guys, it's me, Rusty, 78609 Central Texas, USA, live from my studios in my 26-foot bunkhouse model travel trailer. I've been living in this one for 3 years, but I have full-time RV for about 23 years. And right now it's about 78 degrees in Central Texas, USA. It's 10:16 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I got a comment that I'm going to respond to. Won't mention the name, I usually don't, but here it goes. It says, "Hey Rusty, your biggest fan here. Discovered you last week while looking for camping stuff and have watched 15 of your videos already. You deserve some kind of an award, my friend. I have a few questions about the Prius. Number one, what is the life of the battery? That question is difficult to answer because it depends on where you live and how you drive it, etc., etc. But I just happened to look on the internet. There's no real defined answer for that. I do know that. But there's my sister has a Prius, and she has a friend that has a 2004 Prius. It's got about 200,000 miles on it. And she's never replaced her batteries. Several people have over 100,000 miles and the batteries are still going strong. And it says right here, if the battery pack in your Toyota Prius dies before the end of its 150,000 mile warranty, Toyota will place it for free of charge. There's two types of warranties in that battery. There's one for 100,000 and one for 150. I think it depends on when you bought your Prius. And so anyway, that's kind of the answer to how long the battery lasts. Long time. Is it economical to replace the battery, or would the car be scrapped when the battery dies? That's the second question. Be better to replace the battery. Why? Because it's cheap. There in Austin, Texas, near where I live, is a group of mechanics that will come to your house if you live in Austin. I don't live there, but if you did, and they will replace the battery. Basically, I think around $500 to $800. And what they do, they go in, and the battery is a series of cells, individual cells, and they replace the bad ones and charge you accordingly. But it ranges somewhere between, I'm told, $500 and $800 if you have to replace the whole thing. So that's not a big deal to have that replaced. So in answer to that question, it would be more economical to just replace the batteries. I know, and third question, I know the miles per gallon is great when you're doing a lot of stop-start driving, but what's it like when you're driving at a constant speed all day on the interstate? When you're driving all day on the interstate, and I've done it many times, I average anywhere about 52 miles to the gallon because I usually drive about 65 to 70. Once you get over 70, it drops a little bit. Yeah, I've gotten as low as 48 on interstates because there's a section of Interstate 10 in West Texas that the speed limit's 80. I never drive 80, but to keep from getting run over by the trucks, I'll speed up to about 75, and the gas mileage drops accordingly. But still good. You're not going to find a vehicle that gets 48 miles a gallon at 75 miles an hour. Okay. So the gas mileage is still good, no problem with that. All around driving in my Prius right now, that's highway and in town, I average about 54 to 55 miles a gallon, and this is my third Prius, and all of them were about the same. And anyway, next question: would the engine run constantly, or would it shut off periodically? And I think what he's talking about then is when you're driving out on the interstate at highway speeds. Well, you need to watch a YouTube video about how to improve the gas mileage on a Prius, or how to drive a Prius to get the most mileage. And you'll begin to understand how the Prius engine and the electric motor work together. They work together. And, one may be on all the time. If you're going up a hill, the engine may be running on, all the time. And as you come down the hill, you'll be on electric. And as you're flat and level, It'd be a little bit of both. So they kind of work in tandem all the time. So the answer is, neither one are running constantly all the time. They're going back and forth. So would the engine run constantly, or would it shut off periodically? Here's some suggestions. Go to Prius chat room and watch or read answers to questions about battery life, about improving mileage on the highway, etc., and replacing batteries. There's actually a YouTube video that shows you how to replace the batteries yourself. My niece's, is that right? Yeah, his husband bought a used Prius, and he watched a YouTube video and went in and replaced some of the cells. Did it himself. Just had to buy the cells, and as far as the price on those, it depends on whether you get refurbished or new. Big difference in price there, but you can check that out. So check the Prius chat rooms and see what you can find out there. Check YouTube videos, an excellent source of very current information, and also it'll depend on which generation you buy of Prius. The Prius first was introduced in 1997. And generation one was 5 or 6 years, so that puts you at about 2003. Generation two, I don't know, maybe 2003 to 2009, and then 2010 to 2015 is generation three, and 2016 starts a new generation, generation four. What do those generations mean? Well, it means each time they do a new generation, they've made some changes. And some of those changes are always in the battery. The batteries get smaller and lighter. Sometimes they tweak the interior a little bit. Sometimes they tweak the exterior a little bit, but not much. You can't tell. You can look at a 2010 Prius and a 2015 side by side. You can't tell the difference. Now, when you get down to 2005 and a 2015, you'll notice some difference in the slope of the back. And the 2016 is a dramatic change on the inside and outside. I don't know too much about the batteries. They do get a little better gas mileage in the 2016s. So, with having said all that, if you're thinking about getting a Prius, I encourage you to do so. This is my third one. I know they're not cheap. They do hold their resale fairly good. Now, if you buy a new one, the curve drops pretty quick. When you buy a new car anytime, the first 2 years the depreciation is dramatic, and it's no different with a Prius. After the third and fourth year, it starts to level off a little bit, and if you keep the car 5, 6, 7 years, you'll get a pretty good you'd get a pretty good trade-in, but you always do better if you just sell the car outright, do it on Craigslist or whatever. But be that as it may, having said all those wonderful things, I will end this video, and thank you very much for your comment. And you folks that have your Priuses and go camping in them, thumbs up to you guys, and thumbs up to any of you campers out there. It's an adventure. Again, it's not like sleeping at a Hyatt Regency, but it's an adventure. You get to see the world. And if you get a chance to go out to the western United States, do so, because you get around the Four Corners area, which is Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona. That's a beautiful area. You get into Utah, you can go to all kind of parks, and I won't go over all of those, but there's plenty of places to go camp, and you can use the air conditioner. I've done videos about that. And so anyway, adios amigos, thumbs up, carpe diem, and bye-bye. Why do I do that? Good question. Where's the off button?